Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Miracles with Mary. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 4 life path in my 11-part numerology series. So with the 4 life path, we're going to go over symbolism of 4, then for the life path, traits, purpose, lights, gifts, shadow side, challenges, growth and development, and careers. And we'll list a couple of famous 4 life paths as well. And before we head on to the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up for more videos and make sure to subscribe for more videos. Okay, so let's first go over the symbolism of a 4. In numerology, 4 reveals the foundation of goals, stability, security, following systems, and solidifying the future. So as I list some more significance or symbolism for, just think about the foundation of a goal. So for shape, I think of a square or rectangle. So when you see a square or rectangle, it is the shape of stability and security in walls. In astrology, the 4th house sits at the base of your birth chart, and it symbolizes home and security. In nature and direction, there are 4 cardinal points: north, south, east, west. There's also 4 phases of the moon, 4 seasons, and 4 elements. In the west is like fire, air, water, and earth. And there's also 4 states of the body, which is emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. And in science, there are 4 states of matter. There's matter, gas, liquid, and solid. And there's also 4 forces that bind matter together, which is strong, weak, there's gravity, and then there's magnetic electricity. In the Bible, we have the cross, the 4 directions of the cross, and then we have 4 evangelists, which are Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. In Buddhism, we have the 4 sites that the Buddha was disturbed by, which was like a crippled man, a sick man, a corpse, and a monk, and 4 noble truths, which is life is suffering, there's a cause of suffering, there's an end to suffering, and there's the path to end suffering. In tarot, the Emperor is the 4th card, which represents material goods, worldly authority, the masculine, stability, order, discipline, setting up boundaries and rules, and somebody who is strong and solid in business, which that's what the 4 means in numerology. And I have an analogy for life path lessons and purpose, which is a house under construction. So to construct a house, you need to prepare a plan, you gotta dig deep, and when the foundation is complete, then you can set up your highest ambitions, then you can build up your empire. But you have to be patient, and you have to build everything brick by brick, follow a process to make your house endure. So now let's go over the traits of a 4 life path. So 4 life paths, they're called teachers, builders, managers, hard workers, students of life, and problem solvers. They are cerebral, intelligent, trustworthy, honest and direct, also very loyal people. They're also they're grounded as well. They always seek truth and knowledge. They're never going to be in a situation where they look naive. They see both sides of situations, so they could come off as cynical. They intuitively know how to fix things when it comes to their hands as well, like handy people. And they are wise beyond their years. So if you have a 4 in your life, they tend to be very loyal, reliable, sensible, responsible, strong, and sturdy. They're always taking care of everything. They prefer traditional over unconventional, and they're more homebodies than adventure seekers. They also work hard slowly and deliberately to achieve their goals. They don't like being pushed or rushed at all. And they're the most patient when it comes to practical, material, tangible things than spiritual or intellectual discussion. So now we're going to go to the purpose of 4 life paths. So they are here to achieve stability and security with the basics, which is home, family, health, education, career, finances. 4s grow up to be strong and sturdy like trees, but they must deepen their roots in order to thrive and grow. They could have had, since stability and security is so important to a 4 more than any other life path, they could have had experiences with a past family that really impacted how they deal with the process of creating stability and foundation. They must first, before they create stability in the outer world, they must create it inside of them. Do they feel secure inside? Do they feel stable inside? Is their feet on the ground? This has to be emotionally, mentally, physically at home before establishing security out in the world. And they always make an effort to pay the bills on time. Let's set our health straight. Let's set the finances straight. So back to their childhood, they could have experienced instability when dealing with, let's say, a parent or a sibling who had drug or alcohol issues, maybe a childhood where they lacked financial security. They could have felt abandoned by parents, or they dealt with an emotionally charged past when it comes to family. And if 4s don't believe that they had a good upbringing, then they can change that by providing stability and security for their future family and children. And that's why home is such a safe haven for 4s. When it comes to finances, they're not overly obsessed with being rich. That's not as easy or practical for people to achieve. And then they learn the most life lessons to balance their ambitions with practical reality. So it's much easier to achieve security than being filthy rich. So their face throughout life, they face a lot of issues with focus, patience, preparation, persistency, commitment, and the willingness to accomplish tasks carefully and slowly. So that's related to work, to projects, to relationships, to locations. And since they are so grounded and hardworking, anything involving earth is their medicine. Nature has a very calming effect on them. So activities such as gardening, camping, and hiking helps them decompress, because they have an overactive mind that sees everything. So they really need their peace and quiet to process information and all the details that they are seeing. Overall, 4s are down to earth and responsible life paths. They are here to create physical and financial stability, as well as balancing their ambitions with practical reality. All right, so we're going to move on to the gifts or the light expression of a 4. So the best expression of a 4 is that they are self-disciplined, focused, determined, practical, hard at work, following order and routine, and respecting order and routine, appreciating rules and systems, and they are physically and emotionally strong. A purposeful 4, they are seeking knowledge. They are providing security for themselves and others, and they share their expertise through teaching others. Since they operate more from their logical mind, they have the ability to see every detail, analyze from beginning to end, and break down smaller steps to achieving a goal. So we learn a lot from them because they're there from beginning and end, and they know what it takes to succeed. They put so much focus and determination into developing a skill that they become experts in their own fields, and they start teaching and training others. So fours, when they get a job, they are very observant, they see all the details, and they might end up doing a better job than their boss, so they would end up being happier if they just became their own boss and started their own business. You can see their best work when it comes to material, physical, or tangible assets and aspects, and they work really well with their hands. They intuitively know how to fix things, even at a really young age, like putting puzzles together. For human civilization to endure, fours bring discipline, practicality, strength, perseverance, and setting efficient systems, working with complex structures, and getting difficult projects done. So fours are here to remind us that there is a value in creating structure, following process when setting up a foundation. If civilization does not have that, we're going to be in complete chaos without the four energy, without four people, or without having a four in anybody's charts. So when life feels out of control or when life feels chaotic, you can always come home to a four life path. They are there for, as I mentioned so many times, to create stability and security. They're not there to expand. They're there to, like, this is the ground. You are safe right here in this stillness. The biggest life lesson for fours is through creativity or expression. They don't learn the biggest life lessons when it comes to creativity or expression, since when you are creating something or expressing something, there's no end goal. There's no end or no goal to it, and that's expansive energy. Fours are there to solidify. Fours at their highest expression, and when I mean highest expression, I mean at their highest, like at maturity, they are wise, they are patient, intuitive, and allow the spirit to work through them when they're following a process or when they're pursuing anything. So now let's move on to shadows and challenges. So before we move on, please let me know if you are for life, if this makes sense to you. I'm always there to observe and improve and understand each life path. And if you'd like a free reading, please click at the description below, and there's my website. Okay, so back to shadows and challenges. They will come through trials and experiences that test their stability, their strength, their fortitude, and if they don't learn their mistakes, the house can easily crumble down. So on the negative expression of fours, there's lack of discipline or over discipline, meaning being over disciplined, they would have lack of flexibility, and they tend to be stubborn. If they're too stubborn, that can cost them, such as like not listening to criticism to improve. There's also perfectionism and also fear of criticism. If their goals aren't reached fast enough, they'd end up quitting. If they think that it won't work out perfectly, then they're gonna completely abandon it and say, I'm just not gonna forget it. I'm not gonna do it at all. And that with that attitude, a lot of ideas die in their head. Perfectionism also makes them prone to panic attacks and mental breakdowns. But they got to remember that behind all this material world, the universe is always in complete chaos. I know I mentioned earlier they're here to create stability and security with society and human civilization. But behind it all, we're always constantly changing. And they also have a fear of change too, because they tend to really enjoy the comfort of committing to something. Then there's also 4s getting stuck on one step and totally skipping a step, but they later learn that rushing leads to failure. They could switch from being super focused to extremely confused. That means there's disharmony between their emotions and their intellect. They could be analyzing things to death as well and getting lost in detail and not seeing the bigger picture, which makes them unproductive. They have such an overactive mind, and they could get stuck in their head that sometimes being in their presence, you just feel alone because if they're too much in their head. And if they don't have a healthy outlet, it could lead to addictions such as alcoholism. Another challenge is forgetting about living in the now, and neglecting their home life if they're completely absorbed into work. So that's where they tend to become overly materialistic because they're like so focused on work and finances and building the future, like planning forever into the future. So if they neglect their emotional or personal life, this leads to emotional insecurity, being frustrated with their ambitions, and unhappiness. So long periods of this creates issues with nervous system and illnesses caused by chronic stress. The last challenge that I have is when their craving for security backfires and they end up staying in a toxic relationship for too long, or a toxic work environment for too long. So now let's move on to how they can grow or how they can develop. 4s, they get gratification when it comes to the material world when they're young. So if you know a young 4, it's vital for them to be involved in physical experiences and learning to practice organization as they're growing and developing. And it's also really very beneficial for them to work with their intuition as well, like solving puzzles. They can use their logic and intuition, playing with crafts, gardening, baking, sports, and as they mature, they'll appreciate the process of organization and when coming to a goal. Strengthening and training their memory is also important for development because 4s love to learn. They always seek the truth and knowledge. With such a powerful intellectual mind, it sounds very simple, but my advice is to relax. Not a lot of 4s relax, and they deserve to relax because if their thoughts are running at full speed, it would do them really well to keep a journal, track down, create lists. So that definitely helps a lot. And the best way to relax daily is through meditation, which helps them detach from material worries when work becomes excessive. And also committing to a daily to that daily will help them grow spiritually as well. They tend to be more patient with the material, physical world rather than spiritual or intellectual, because they'd rather do than discuss. Visualization and learning more about philosophy will widen their intuitive awareness, and it'll help them trust their gut, which makes being persistent easier, which makes following a process easier. And the last thing I have for growth or development is that fours should strive to balance the physical and spiritual world. So any activities where they can involve thinking, analyzing with love and intuition. So balance between their emotional side and intellectual side, that's going to help them operate with a lot more wisdom when it comes to reaching an end goal. So that's it for development. I have an affirmation for life paths, and it is, oh my gosh, it is, today is a gift. I am safe in the present, and my future is taken care of. Today is a gift. I am safe in the present, and my future is taken care of. So that could be part of the daily meditation, an affirmation for that. All right, so now I am going to move on to careers or professions for life path. So they work really well with earth products or anything related to earth materials. They can work as a builder, like in construction, architecture, landscaper, general contractor, earth sciences such as being a geologist, biochemist, ecologist, forester, horticulturist, which is like working with plants, and archaeologist. They also like to protect and do well when it involves physical strength and fortitude. So police work or firefighting works, such as, and even being a pro athlete and physical trainer. Also, careers that involve family or housing, since a home is their safe haven, they would do well being a chef, baker, dietitian, gardener, caretaker, and work in real estate or property manager. Also, with technical or skilled trade, they do well being a craftsman or craftsperson, accountant, engineer, software technician, a mathematician, a mechanic, electrician, physician, chiropractor, economist, a manager, business owner, a teacher, or coach as they become experts in their field. And then I'm going to list some famous people. So as you saw on the thumbnail, there was the Dalai Lama, Oprah, Jay Shetty, Tupac, Tina Fey, Chris Hemsworth. They do really well teaching people and working with earth and being practical. They're very reliable and grounded people. Other famous people are Eckhart Tolle, Da Vinci, Will Smith, Paul McCartney, Celine Dion, Jake Gyllenhaal, Brad Pitt, Wes Anderson, Bill Gates, Calvin Harris, Adam Sandler, Nicki Minaj, Elton John, Benedict Cumberbatch, I hope I'm saying that right, Quentin Tarantino, and Nicole Kidman. So that is it for the 4 life path video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more interesting videos, okay? So have a wonderful day, beautiful souls. I will see you next time. Bye.